Good morning, welcome to a brand new week of your life to co-create with. Here is your breakdown around how you can energetically align yourself with this week's astrology. Hi all, my name is Comet and welcome to Just Another Magic Monday, which is your astrological forecast for August 8th to August 14th, but every other week for that matter. I am here on your YouTube screen every Monday morning, 2:30 a.m. PDT, 5:30 a.m. EDT, here to gently guide you into the week ahead. And I've got my sparkling water in hand because it is heating up in San Diego and it's heating up in the cosmos as well. We've got Venus opposite Pluto this week, which is creating some intensity when it comes to our love life, our financial world. We've got Venus entering Leo, which is spicing up the cosmos with a little flair for dramatic, a little bit more heart. And then we've got an Aquarius full moon, we've got Mars trine Pluto, we've got Sun opposite Saturn, we've got it all truly. So you're gonna wanna understand how this relates to your life, how you can co-create with these energies. But first, cheers, love. I'm drinking a sparkling water. Here, can reveal. ASMR. Kind of matches my dress, but you know, Venus enters Leo this week, so we're always gonna go for dramatic. Even if it's a glass of sparkling water, look for those little opportunities within your everyday to make it a little bit more dramatic. Why just sip from a can when you can sip from glassware? Why go to the grocery store in pajamas when I can go in red lipstick? It's simply not an option. This is the time of the year to be a little extra, to add that little flair for the dramatic. It's the Leo way. It's the Leo way. So cheers, love. Happy Monday. Let's get into this week. So loves, if you are new here, Vibe Check of the Week is essentially me likening what the week's astrology feels like to an energetic level so that you have an image or a soundbite or a feeling for you to latch onto to begin to understand how this astrology is playing out within your world. Because oftentimes we don't have a very emotional response to, oh, Sun opposite Saturn, but we do relate to, you know, that feeling when you accidentally just walk into a door and you feel so dumb because you didn't realize the door wasn't open? Yeah, Sun opposite Saturn feels like that. You know, it just brings it to light. And while that aspect does happen this week, the vibe check is beyond just walking into a door, okay? In fact, a door isn't really involved. Okay, so this week's vibe check is this soundbite, and you might be familiar with it. Perhaps you've seen it on TikTok or on YouTube, but essentially two women walk into a party and they look ready to party. They've got, I'm pretty sure, gift bags as they're walking in, and they walk in and there's an awkward vibe, and they're just like, hey, how's it going?
How y'all doing?
So hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. That was the meme that jumped into my mind today. I think it's from a reality show. I don't know the context, but essentially I want you to get that vibe of essentially walking in, you're like, oh, something went down. And I don't know if they were mad at the women who walked in or if there was already a tense showdown, but that's the vibe. So I want you to think of the women who walk into the party like, hey, how y'all doing? As Venus entering Leo, because Venus is love, it's beauty, it's romance, it's our sensation of pleasure in this world. And with entering Leo, it's like, let's put more heart, more passion into our existence. Why just do something small when we could do it big? Let's live with heart. So like Venus and Leo enters ready to party. Venus and Leo is like, it is summertime, it is Leo season, let's party. I've got gift bags, I've got party hats, let's do it big. But when Venus enters Leo, it's entering a very tense showdown within the cosmos. Like the Aquarius full moon is looking at Venus and Leo like, do you think we want to party right now? I'm facing off with Saturn and Mars and Uranus. I'm not in the mood to party. And then Venus opposite Pluto is on the other side like, yeah, I'm not trying to party either. Sun squaring Uranus and Saturn is like, yeah, we're not trying to party. So like everybody's looking at Venus and Leo who's trying to party just like, we're not trying to party. We're actually mad at you for trying to party. Venus and Leo is trying to break the ice, trying to lighten things up. Like, why are we mad? Why are we awkward? Let's have some fun. And everyone's just like, no. That's what this week's astrology feels like. So I'll give more nuance as we break it down day by day. Just some quick notes. First being, all times that I mention will be PDT. Please make sure to adjust to your time zone before putting into your planner. There are timestamps below if you want to come back and jump to a particular day. And do know I have a new membership option available below if you want to check it out. Absolutely no expectation nor pressure to join, but just if you are intrigued by the perks I'm offering. So without further ado, let's take it into our day-by-day breakdown. Okay, loves, so good morning. Welcome to the astrology forecast for Monday, August 8th. And you might be saying, Haley, Comet, it is 8/8. Why didn't you talk about Lionsgate? Okay, so I'm not refuting Lionsgate. I want all of my Lionsgate people to live their absolute best lives. I just don't feel comfortable speaking as an authority on the matter, as I am a traditionally trained astrologer, and Lionsgate is a more modern concept. Not refuting it. I want you to live your best Lionsgate life. I just am not able to be an authority on the matter, as I do strive within my forecast and within my readings to stay as true as possible to my training, my certification, which does honor the time-honored traditions of astrology. Not refuting more modern astrology. I utilize Uranus, I utilize Neptune, I utilize Pluto in aspects, but I just don't feel like I am able to be the authority on Lionsgate. There are many people who are. I'm not the lion. I'm not the lion in front of the gate. I don't know the gate. I don't know the lion. Someone out there does. Find those YouTubers. But I just wanted to briefly say that. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, no shade at all. Just wanted to note why I am not talking about it and why I don't talk about it. Our Monday starts off a little slow, a little sleepy, as we have a Sagittarius moon squaring Neptune. So maybe if you are doing something for Lionsgate, meditation or something of that nature, you can do it in the morning time, as the moon doesn't enter Capricorn, essentially ending the void until 11:30 a.m. PDT. And when the moon is void, important tasks we must avoid. So you're not missing anything, and the closing aspect is a square to Neptune. This is head in the clouds. This is not being able to focus. This is being sleepy. This is just feeling out of it. This is feeling out of body. So if anything, just start your morning a little slower, maybe meditate, journal, process any dreams. When the moon enters Capricorn, trust me, you'll feel like getting to that to-do list. And the moon enters Capricorn at 11:39 a.m. and that's when the void moon ends. And you know, with the Capricorn moon, this is a position that the moon is not inherently dignified. It's actually in its detriment in the sign Capricorn, because the moon governs Capricorn's opposite sign, Cancer. So when the moon's in Capricorn, it's like, oh, I hate it here, because Capricorn's like, let's contribute to the public domain, let's achieve, let's be better, where the moon just wants to feel, it wants to respond. So it's not the most comfy, cozy match, but it is a time that we can feel more intrinsically driven to want to contribute. And a lot of times we can feel this as really emotionally tethering ourselves. So like when we get great feedback from our advisors and our authority figures, feeling great about ourselves. But then if we get bad feedback, feeling horrible, like emotionally tethering ourselves to what it is that we are achieving or what it is that we're creating with our success or our lack thereof, with being very hard on ourselves. But I do want to highlight that there are these healing waves of energy on Monday, as the sun in Leo does trine Chiron in Aries. And this happens in fire signs, and fire is our truest essence. It is the part of us that just burns, that is unapologetic. And with sun in Leo trining Chiron in Aries, it's this energy around, I'm gonna be extra, I'm going to be over the top, I'm gonna be too much for some people, and that is okay. Like, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try or how much you achieve, because remember, the moon's in Capricorn, that's what we can be emotionally relating ourselves to at this time. There's always going to be someone who has something to say about it, right? There's always going to be someone who thinks that we are too much, or that we're not enough, or that we're not pretty, or that we're too pretty, that we're not smart, or that we're too, whatever. There's always going to be someone who has to say something. And this is sort of energy around taking the power back and being like, I just don't care. I'm just going to be myself within my authenticity. Yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm going to integrate that fully into my personality. I'm not coming for anyone. I'm not being shady when I say this, because I get this all the time on all of my social media platforms. So I'm not coming for anyone in particular. If you've commented this, I appreciate the feedback. I'm not coming for you. But this is like, this transit just kind of reminds me of, you know, an experience that I've had sharing more on social media, where people continually tell me, you know, you're too much, your energy is too high, you're too perky. And that used to sort of get to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I too much? Am I drinking too much caffeine? Do I need to chill out? But like, literally, this is who I am. This is who I am. It might be too much, especially early in the morning, and I understand that, and I simply just might not be the astrologer for you, and that is totally okay. Like, we all have our own agency within our world, but I went through like this weird period where I would like try to like sit down and be like, okay, calm down, just like be chill, just like talk about the transits. You don't have to be so excited, but like, guys, this is me. This isn't an act. This isn't me forcing. This isn't me turning it on. I mean, I guess when I'm just hanging out with friends, I guess I'm not this energetic, but this is my purest essence. So like, when I was trying to tone it down, I was like, tone it down, tone it down, tone it down. It was truly being out of integrity with myself. You have every right to have an opinion on how I deliver the forecast. We all have a right to an opinion, right? But with this aspect, it's sort of the energy around being like, yeah, I'm not necessarily going to try to modify myself in order to be the astrologer YouTuber for every single person on the internet. It's not going to work. I'm going to dilute my essence and like what it is that I came here to do and what it is that you came here to do. Like, such is the energy of fire. Leo sun, Chiron and Aries. Fire just burns. It is warming, right? And we feel that warmth when people are living in their truest essence. So I just want to say this is a healing wave of energy around realizing I'm not going to be the prettiest, the smartest, the best, the coolest person in the room. And that is okay. Okay? Because my flame, my sacred flame of being the person that I am within its authenticity is going to warm one person. It's going to inspire one person. And that's so much better than all of us trying to be everything for everybody, because it's a losing game. If I chilled out, I'd probably get comments like, is this girl okay? She doesn't even seem fully alive. So you're just not gonna please everyone. So just be yourself. I do wanna highlight, we have an energy building of Venus opposite Pluto. It exacts that evening, so you could definitely feel that on Monday as well. And what I want you to be mindful of is obsessing. Like, this would be the energy, you know, if I got that feedback, you're too perky, you're too much, like chill out. Obsessing, like rereading it like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? Where you're really going to be feeling this is in terms of your love life, your financial world, as well as with your sense of beauty. So I just want you to really be mindful around how it is that you're talking to yourself, especially with that Venus answering to Moon, which is not dignified, right? Around really tethering yourself to where it is that you feel like you're not enough or these people are. Be mindful on social media, like Venus opposite Pluto is very much the energy around being knee deep in some Insta model's page. Just like, do they even have a job? They probably don't have to worry about health insurance. Like, oh my gosh, like just comparing ourselves endlessly to other people, as well as being really suspicious or paranoid when it comes to our love relationships. This is sort of energy where we could feel a little bit more controlling, a little bit more possessive over relationships, especially with Venus in Cancer, really craving that safety. A positive way that you can lean into this is really allowing the Pluto energy to remind you of your power. So like, if you feel that tendency to obsess over that comment that someone just made, or obsess on not knowing your exact financial future, or obsess over, you know, your partner not texting you for like 30 minutes and being convinced that they're on a jet on their way to Bali with someone else that they met, like really tapping into your power, like just anchoring in. I always think of Pluto aspects as like this laser focus energy where we can laser focus obsessing over, he's probably on a jet with somebody else, or like, I'm going to be broke and I'm not going to make any money and it's all going to go to crap, or like, I'm too much and I'm never going to be successful on the internet because my personality is like this. Why am I like this? Call yourself back when you go down that and put that energy into something more proactively. Put it into your art, put it into your creation, put it into loving on someone. Pluto is a very intense energy, but you know, we can either use it to obsess over the weeds in our world or grow the flowers consciously. So just know that's really baking on Monday. And then I will say, even though we have this tense, you know, romantic aspect, so not really I would recommend for a first date, might get a little intense, as well as not a time to necessarily act on suspicions if you're just like so convinced. Not the time I would like check a phone or anything like that. I'm not denouncing that as a practice. I'm just saying this is an aspect where we can go to extremes when it comes to stuff like that. What I will say is the Capricorn moon does trine Mercury in Virgo, which is very good at problem solving. It's very good at attuning to what needs to be done. It's logical, it's shrewd. So that's why I'm saying with this Pluto energy, focus on where that tunnel vision could help you, support you. Focus on directing that laser focus towards initiatives you want to grow and to prosper. On Tuesday, the 9th, so the Capricorn moon trines Mercury in Virgo, but that happens very, very early, technically on Tuesday, late on Monday. And then it also squares off with Jupiter. There can be this energy around wanting to succeed so bad, or to be seen as successful, or to be seen as successful for yourself, that it's almost like at all costs. Because with Jupiter in Aries, you know, it's a little feisty, it's a little overzealous at times, and being mindful because Jupiter's retrograde, right? So maybe not the greatest time to like bet all of your life savings on this, you know, brand new initiative without doing market research. Like, the drive for the Capricorn moon to want to succeed and achieve is so high that Tuesday isn't the day that I would do anything drastic around that, particularly since it is activating this sore spot with the Capricorn moon squaring Chiron in Aries, this place, this part of you that's sort of like an ouch to your story, and what it is that you looked for in order to soothe that ouch, right? Like burying, you know, our insecurities around, well, they'll laugh at me when I'm successful, when I'm a star. It's like wherever you go, there you are, and fame is the same way, and success is the same way. We think something's going to make us happy, and I know this is so cliche, and you've heard this over and over, but I just want to say, like, we think it's going to fix it all, and it doesn't. And like with the Capricorn moon squaring Chiron in Aries, there's almost this energy around trying to outsource our healing by achieving, but it's like, we can bury ourselves in work and bury ourselves in achievement, but those same wounds will still be there. So I just want to highlight that that's coming to the surface on Tuesday. And then that evening, great to do something earthy and grounding, maybe go to a park, spend some time in nature. The Capricorn moon trines Uranus and Taurus, so definitely do something to disrupt your routine and just kind of celebrate a hard day of work or productivity or whatever you got into on Tuesday. It just feels like a great energy to kind of shake up the typical routine and do something to celebrate yourself. My Capricorn placements, my loves, y'all need to celebrate yourself. And all of us with Moon and Capricorn, celebrate ourselves. Like, Capricorn can be so concerned about getting to the next step and getting to the next stage that we forget to realize, hey, I'm further than I was a year ago. I'm further than I was 2 years ago. Like, taking some opportunities to celebrate, maybe not being exactly where you want to be, but you're closer than where you've been. And this happens early Wednesday, but I do want to share that the Capricorn moon also trines Mars and Taurus. So great for doing something active, working out, disrupting your routine. So maybe take a fitness class or something of the nature. My East Coast loves on Wednesday, this exacts very early, 5:12 to be exact. So it would be a great time to get in a cycling class or do something active, start your day, and then tackle your to-do list. That'll make Capricorn moon happy. And I deeply encourage that because the moon does go void from 9:39 to 11:35 a.m. PDT. So not a very productive bulk of time in between there. So make sure to maximize the morning and then maximize the afternoon, at which point the moon will be in Aquarius. And the Capricorn moon is getting supported by a sextile to Neptune and Pisces, as well as conjunction to Pluto and Capricorn. Remember what I said about Pluto and Capricorn, right? We can obsess over the weeds, or we can just focus on growing the flowers, focus on growing the fruit. Closing aspect of the Capricorn moon is that it opposes Venus in Cancer. Again, this energy around looking to nurture our own emotions or rub balm on our own wounds via success or working harder or being better, which is a fruitless battle truly. Then the moon enters Aquarius, which is the sign of the full moon. And keeping in mind that the full moon happens the following day, when the moon gets fuller, our lives get busier and more chaotic and more hectic. So I want you to keep that in mind, that people can be behaving a little bit more erratically, especially with really the building moon in Capricorn, debilitated, and it's working really hard. It's trying to be enough for everybody. Like, people can be a little extra, a little much. So I just want to highlight that, especially since the full moon that we're building to is pretty tense. You know, it's a party, a lot's going on, a lot of socializing. Aquarius is a sign of groups and communities, but it's not a party we necessarily want to be at. Like, again, I don't know the context of that video clip, but something went down. Some truth came out, something's having to be dealt with, and that's the vibe this week of the full moon gathered with Saturn, and we're just going to feel that energy bake within our world. Other than that, on Wednesday, when the moon enters Aquarius around 11:49, that's the only aspect all day. It does build to sextile Jupiter and Aries that evening. And I want to share, if you are free that evening, my dear friend Pooja and I are having an Instagram live over on Instagram, as you would imagine from me saying Instagram live. It's called Birth Chart Boogie. We are breaking down 2 musicians of every single sign. So essentially musicians who really embody an Aries like vibe, musicians who really embody their Taurus stellium, so on and so forth. We picked 2 for every sign, and we're essentially just going to sip cocktails, mocktails, as we chat through what we can learn about their birth charts and how they exemplify that sign's energy. So that is Wednesday, August 10th at 6 p.m. PDT over on Instagram Live if you want to join for that. But anyways, we picked that day because with the full moon, you know, people are gathering. It's a party vibe. With the sextile with Jupiter, it's a little bit more light. At least we can relieve some tension, right? Maybe not the entire party that they're walking to was awkward. Maybe some other people were down to party, but there's some truth that we're dealing with. But birth chart boogie is a nice distraction. Okay, so Thursday, August 11th, it's tense, guys. It's tense. The full moon exacts at 6:36, so the entire day we're sort of building up to it, right? And like I said, the full moon is the vibe around something's coming out. And I don't know if they found out something about the women who just walked into the party or if the party was just dealing with something. But when there is a Saturn lunation, it's like we have to face the harsh truth. Something is coming to the surface. We need to look this in the eye. We need to look these ugly emotions in the eye, these ugly group dynamics in the eye, because Aquarius does bring up, you know, the collective, groups of people, things of the nature. And with Saturn, it might be like, you know, you spend time with this friend group, but is it really good for you? Is it good for your spirit? Is it good for your goals? And with Sun square Uranus, you know, it's also like, does this make me feel free to be myself, to embrace my weird? With Sun square Uranus, there can be things that are unexpected. We could feel very chaotic, very restless, all over the place as we navigate Thursday's astrology. And, you know, and it just feels like something's coming out, whether it's at a party and people are like, well, you know, Cheryl was hanging out with him, and then everyone's like, Cheryl, you were? It's like just throwing in a wrench in things, right? Something unexpected coming out, someone behaving in an unexpected way, and it creates this awkward tenseness, such as the vibe of the vibe check, right? And we want to connect, we want to gather. That's the vibe of Aquarius moon, but it's charged with all these conflicts and these messages coming out and people behaving in unusual ways. Venus enters Leo the same day. So like I said, with Venus entering Leo, it influences our love life, where all of a sudden we're a little bit more bold, a little bit more dramatic. Like with Venus in Cancer, we wanted love that felt like home. With Venus in Leo, we want love that feels like a party. We want to show off. We want a night on the town. We want to do it with heart. We want to be passionate. Like it really just amplifies our Venusian matters. Like with Venus in Cancer, especially with the opposite Pluto, you could have had energy earlier in the week where it's like, can I afford this $8 jar of pickles? Maybe I should just buy the $4 one. With Venus in Leo, it's like, let's do the $24 jar of pickles. Why not? Why not? It's me. It's me. I deserve it. Self-care. Like it can be energy where we are a little bit more bold, a little bit more spendy, because Leo is the archetype of royalty, right? And there's nothing wrong with feeling like royalty. I would definitely say this is such a great time when it comes to self-care, self-love, to come back to the royalty of your life. If you've been in a situation where it's like you are not being treated well, like with Venus and Leo, remember your worth. Remember that you are royalty. And also when it comes to your financial situation, like really contemplate, how is it that you can treat yourself with love and appreciation? Even if you can't monetarily, maybe it's giving yourself like a little face mask. I think you could make one with like banana and honey, or just finding those little ways to infuse a little drama, a little fun, a little heart, and remember that you are royalty. But it's funny that this happens during this like tense full moon when everyone's looking at each other. This stuff just came out to the surface. Everything's awkward. We wanted to connect. We came here to connect, but it's like, how are we going to connect? How are we going to party? There's too much that we have to deal with right now. We have to like come face to face, whether it's societally or within our world. We're coming to face with something. Venus and Leo wants to party, but it's like, not yet, Venus and Leo. We've got some stuff to figure out. Venus and Leo is just like, hey, how y'all doing? I got party hats. Anybody? Anybody? Now, the nice thing about this week, we know that Mars isn't happy. The nice thing about this week, that's not a nice thing necessarily, but Mars is not super happy in Taurus currently, but it is getting supported this week. So with Mars debilitated, you know, I've been kind of reiterating the importance around conserving your energy, working slowly and steadily, pragmatically dealing with the situation at hand. With the sextile to Neptune and Pisces, really following those little instincts and those nudges. Like this would be a great time to be involved. Like if you get like a nudge around, I need to be at this full moon circle, like follow those little whispers that you get. It's going to be the medicine that your soul needs. I'm not saying this is the lightest, fluffiest full moon where it's all going to be good vibes, but there can be something really helpful for you if you follow those nudges and those whispers. So whether it's like you're meditating, you're like, I want to talk to Cheryl. I haven't called Cheryl in months. And then you talk with her and it just feels so aligned and she tells you exactly what you needed to hear at that particular moment. Follow those whispers. It's not a light and fluffy full moon, but if you allow yourself to dull the noise, to come inward, to really whisper, what is it to really attune to? What is it that I need to give myself? How can I follow my energy in this moment? How can I free myself from what I should do and be able to create the space to follow what it is that I feel like doing? So maybe it's after work, you always go home, but you're like, I never go for a hike. I had the most insane day at work, all of these power struggles, all of this awkwardness with our group dynamics. And I should probably go home and cry about it, but no, I just feel like I need to go hike this mountain after work. And then you get to the top and you're looking at the sunset and you just feel like your soul is so supported. Follow those whispers on Thursday, okay? It's not light, it's not fluffy, but it just feels like it's gonna be exactly the medicine that your soul needs. So if you get those whispers to disrupt the routine, whatnot, you'll have part of you, probably Mercury and Virgo, who's like, no, we have too much to be done. And the Aquarius full moon is like, no, there's too much awkwardness and chaoticness in the week, but follow the whispers. Tune in to what your soul needs. Remember to give yourself what it is that you need in the rush around trying to be everything for everybody and smooth over feathers and break the ice. Give to yourself and you're going to be much more effective being able to peacekeep the awkward party vibe. On Friday the 12th in the morning time, the Aquarius moon squares Mars in Taurus, and you might have a bit of a full moon hangover, whether it's a real one, if you're really at a party, or whether it's just like a spiritual one, emotional one. Expect to feel a little bit more tired. I normally wouldn't say that with harsh aspects to Mars, but the moon will be void after that, 4:07 a.m. to 11:44 a.m. So no rush to get out of bed and get after it on Friday morning. And then even after that, we might not feel necessarily too motivated as the moon's in Pisces. And I'm not bad talking Pisces, I'm just saying fish, who knows where they swim? They kind of just go in their own direction. So it's like you could be all jazzed up around, I need to clean my closet. And then you just end up painting a picture of a dog or learning a song on piano. Lovely, and so long as you enjoyed the process, it was not a waste of time, but not exactly what you intended to do. So I wouldn't necessarily rely on Friday to be the saving grace in regards to getting lots of stuff done. I would definitely tackle that stuff early in the week when the moon's in Capricorn, because at least it serves as a nice distraction from the Pluto energy of like obsession and rumination. On Saturday, the 13th, the Pisces moon opposes Mercury in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo wants to handle all of the things. It's beating up Pisces moon. It's like, why are you still daydreaming? Let's get up and do things. We have laundry to do. We have so much to do. It also can be sort of just like mentally battling between wanting to go with the flow and wanting structure. Oh my gosh, isn't that so challenging trying to make plans with individuals who are more go with the flow when you're more structured? I'm like both because I'm a Pisces sun, Virgo moon, so I'm constantly battling with that in myself. Definitely say people might not be necessarily on time on Saturday and they might be like, just go with the flow, it'll be fine. But Mercury and Virgo's like, I don't know how to go with the flow. I need times and dates. I can plan my outfit, like all of the things. So just take a deep breath if that comes up, give people the permission to flow and give yourself the permission to flow. With the Pisces moon, sextile Uranus and Taurus, if we relinquish ourselves from the plan, when we deviate from the plan just a little bit, we can invite in some really lovely synchronicities and some really lovely detours into our weekend. Just definitely watch any sort of substances that night as the Pisces moon is building to Neptune, so there can be a strong call to want to escape. We could feel more sleepy, not in the mood to really plan things. Our dreams could be really interesting. On Sunday, the moon conjoins Neptune, so it technically exacts around 5 a.m. So it's called to escape, to want to be with the flow, to be more attuned to our dream sort of woo-woo world. With this and with the Pisces moon sextile Mars in Taurus, sextile Pluto in Capricorn, it feels like a really nice time to find some tether for our emotional landscape. So something like church that makes you feel connected or like grounded down to something. Or maybe for you, this would be spending time in nature and just meditating. Something that allows you to connect, but with the Pisces moon leaving its conjunction in Neptune, like those moments when you feel super floaty, like removed from world, like you've been meditating and you're just like, what is reality? Have I ate? Like it's nice with these nice earthy trines around, okay, let's spiritually connect and open ourselves up to love and compassion, whether that's religion or spirituality. But let's make sure we're eating. Let's make sure we're structured, things of the nature. The moon will be void until about midday when the moon enters Aries at 1:43. So a void Pisces moon. You know, you might not be too terribly productive, and that is okay. Allow yourself to nurture your soul, especially with the sun opposing Saturn, which is the energy around feeling a no, feeling sort of like an ego punch. It would be the energy at that party when the women walk in, they're like, hey, how's it going? And then they're like, you did this. It just is the vibe where it's just dampening our vibe. The Leo sun wants to party, the Venus Leo wants to party, but it's like, no, you did this, you're not good enough in these ways. Or maybe this energy is coming from within. Like you really want to be able to build this new creative project, but you're dealing with your own sort of restrictions around you're not good enough for this, or this isn't even a good idea. Basically unaliving the idea before it even has the ability to get off the ground. So being mindful of that, we are more sensitive with the Pisces moon, so we're more sensitive to criticism or feedback or doors slamming in our face. So I just want to highlight that. We've had some harsh Saturn stuff as of late. I'm so sorry. I know a lot of us are having to deal with some really harsh, real stuff that's coming out with Saturn in Aquarius, whether it's expectations from within, societal expectations being placed on you, or just tough life stuff is the energy of Saturn. And it just feels like it's sort of just like bursting our bubble. We want to party, Leo sun wants to party and enjoy life, but for some reason it's a no, it's a door slam, it's a rejection, it's talking down to ourselves. To give another real world example, in this circumstance, in this aspect, I would be the Leo sun, just trying to have fun, just trying to party, just trying to chat you through the astrology aspects. And this fly buzzing in the corner of this room being so loud and so obnoxious is Saturn in Aquarius. Just the real world annoying stuff that we can't help but deal with every so often. It's the inevitable rejections that are bound to come up. It's just the annoying practicalities we have to deal with, the responsibilities, the obligations. And the Pisces moon is overwhelmed by it, so I just want to give you permission to be deep in the feels, particularly Sunday morning. It doesn't all stay that way as then the moon enters Aries that afternoon at 1:43 to be specific, which is positive, which is can do, independent. It's like, all right, what is that we need to do? And let's do it. Let's jump into action. Like, you know, with sun opposite Saturn, the Pisces moon just wanted to get back in bed and be like, I give up. There's a fly. I can't record. I can't do anything. I can't do anything in these conditions. But with the moon entering Aries, it's like, come on, Leo sun. Come on, Venus, Leo. I don't care if all these people are mad at me. I don't care if we have some tough stuff to talk about. I'm still going to eat this cake, and I'm going to party, and I'm going to give the gift, and I'm going to have fun. I'm going to make the best of it. Because also the Mars trines Pluto. So like I said, Mars does have some support this week. So it's like we do have some support around feeling empowered, around dealing with this stuff head on. Like I said, you know, at that party, it might be awkward when we're walking in, but that's not an excuse to just avoid it, even though we do want to party, you know, Leo, Sun, Venus, Leo. Sometimes we have to deal practically with what needs to be addressed, who's mad at who, how do we solve this situation? And there's a can-do energy when we face things head on, when we are pragmatic, when we are logical, when we overcome the trials and tribulations, whether it's a noisy fly, a room that feels like 95 degrees, or whatever just annoying Saturn stuff is coming up within your world. We can get through this. This too shall pass. And you are stronger than you realize. Then the Aries moon trines Venus and Leo, so make sure to eat something delicious, dress up, do something nice for yourself to round off the week. Okay, you've got to go. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. What is wrong with you? Okay, I can't. You're done. You're done. Oh my gosh. Me versus the fly versus the hot room equals Saturn. My gosh. Okay, loves. So the Magic Monday mantra of the week is, I am so grateful for this opportunity to prove my strength. And it's not about proving it to other people. It's about proving it to yourself. Like a lot of times when challenges come our way, we're like, I can't handle this. I'm not strong enough to deal with this. But I also want you to find those moments, look back 3 years at that situation that came your way 3 years ago and you were like, there was no way I could have dealt with that. And you did, and you were stronger and you learned because of it. The first time we get a certain challenge or a certain situation, like we're always gonna have that energy around, I can't deal with this. Like the energy of walking to that party and seeing the tense vibe and just walking out being like, I can't. or we can face it head on. Like, these women look mad, let's figure out what it is. Like, we just came to party, that's not what it is, let's face this head on, and maybe we can still wrap up with a good meal and playing pin the tail on the donkey. Maybe there's a fly in my video, but I'm still going to do the very, very best that I can, and we are able to overcome the challenges that come our way. You are stronger than you realize, and this situation is your opportunity to prove it to yourself. So loves, my Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. My TikTok is the same. I'd love to connect with you over there. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.